For 40 years, the Clermont County Park System has been a place to unwind, share a picnic with family and friends, play, walk, and enjoy the beauty of nature.
County parks add a lot to a community. One thing is that they help provide an identity to a community. If you look at the bicentennial window that the townships in the Clermont County put together that's on the courthouse in downtown Batavia, two of the townships used park facilities as their signature piece to their communities. You know, people think of parks in a positive light. It's a place where they go to have fun. It's a place where their memories were created. Think about family reunions and birthday parties, weddings, all these sorts of things take place in our parks on a weekly basis, and people enjoy themselves there.
Encompassing 522 acres, the Clermont Park District includes 5 parks, 2 nature preserves, 4 river reserves, and 2 green spaces. The oldest and the largest of the county parks is Sycamore, located off State Route 132 in Batavia.
It used to be a football field, and that's where Batavia High School used to play, or where I used to play. And then from there, the Rotary Club obtained it, and then we obtained it from the Rotary Club. And when we first got the park, there was 1 shelter there. And now we've got 3 shelters, playground equipment, tennis courts, a lot more land now, and it has grown or mushroomed. And our largest park, by the way, that we've got right now. It's 158 acres, I think it is now. So it's really doing great.
Attracting over 50,000 visitors a year, Sycamore Park offers tennis and sand volleyball court, 2 picnic shelters, a leisurely paved walking trail, a scenic waterway, and some rather unique playground equipment.
One of my favorites is we got 2 rocks down there that you can climb. It's not a wall, but it's rocks that the kids can climb on. We also got a web that you can, I guess, get tangled up in the web, and they just climb all over that. And it's really grown in playground equipment. Now the time we just try to add a little bit more and a little bit more, and we kind of pride ourselves and say we're the only ones that have the rock, and we're the only ones that have the web, and it's really neat. And the visitation in the summertime is fantastic.
Sycamore Park tripled in size in 2009 to 158 acres with the acquisition of the Wilson Nature Preserve.
Jim and Frances Wilson had always been a good neighbor to the Park District here at Sycamore Park, and they had approached us with an idea of turning their property into a nature preserve for everybody to enjoy. Jim and Frances said that, they couldn't afford to donate the whole property to us, but they could work with us, and they were able to donate a portion of the value of the property, and we were able to use that donation as a match to a Clean Ohio Fund grant so that we could purchase the entire property and add the 105 acres that is now the Wilson Nature Preserve to Sycamore Park.
The Wilson Nature Preserve features a 25-acre island, 2 miles of shoreline along the East Fork of the Little Miami River, and 3 miles of hiking trails, with a great view from the top.
You climb up on top of the hill and look down into Batavia. You can see the junior high school. You can see almost the golf course down there, and it's really spectacular. And there's some big trees in there and a lot of wildlife. And even an island, I think it's a 25-acre island. It's neat, and you can even launch your canoe there and go on down into Batavia. But we have so much at Sycamore that it's constantly full. It really is.
Located off Highway 50 near Owensville, Patterson Park is a popular place to say, "I do." The picture-perfect gazebo and nearby lodge host over 100 weddings a year. It is also home to a popular fishing lake, playground, picnic areas, and beautiful walking trails. The 45-acre park was donated by philanthropist Alethea Pattison, the daughter of Ohio Governor John Pattison.
She had inherited the property from her uncle Lewis, and it was his farm. And Alethea donated the property, the portion of the property on the south side of Route 50 where the picnic shelter and pond are currently located. And 2 years later then, she donated the property on the other side of Route 50 where the lodge and the Park District office now sits.
Alethea loved being surrounded by nature and wanted to pass that on to the community.
Alethea loved the property. She loved the creek that was there and the wildflowers that grew along there, and she enjoyed her time there, but Alethea didn't believe in mowing grass. And we have some interesting photos of Alethea standing in the front of her cabin with the tall grass. She didn't want the grass mowed.
Alethea Pattison established a foundation to provide for Clermont Park improvements. It has contributed hundreds of thousands of dollars for just that purpose. Each year, Pattison also becomes a popular place to dine on pancakes.
Each year at Pattison Park, we host our annual Pancakes in the Park event, which enables us to show off how to make pure maple syrup. The park has several sugar maple trees that we tap to gather their sap and boil it down and turn it into pure maple syrup. And people can come and enjoy a pancake breakfast with pure maple syrup each year.
The Park System Naturalist programs are a big draw, offering over 100 programs a year.
We do a lot of school programs, both in-class programs and also your typical field trip where the schools will come out to our classes or to our parks. In addition to our school field trips, we also offer public programs on a wide variety of topics, private programs to scouts, church groups, youth groups, and senior groups.
A popular spot for family reunions and bridal showers is the Hartman Log Cabin, located at the intersection of Aber Road and US 50 in Jackson Township.
The Hartman Cabin came to the Park District almost by accident. The company that owned the property, Seacoast International, was getting ready to tear down the Hartman house there, and when they removed some of the siding, they discovered it was a log house. And at that point, they stopped the demolition and started rethinking their process there. And they contacted the park board and worked out an agreement with the park board to donate the property there. And the board was then able to restore the Hartman log cabin so that people could use it for family reunions, baby showers, small weddings, and that sort of thing.
In addition to the log cabin, the 5-acre property offers a picnic shelter and a walking trail that accesses a pioneer cemetery, where several members of the Hartman family are buried at sites dating back to the 1800s. Beauty unbounded is one way to describe the 42-acre Kelly Nature Preserve located off Center Street, State Route 126 in Miami Township. The preserve offers hiking trails, canoe access to the Little Miami River, and oh, the wildflowers.
It's got a lot of really nice, beautiful, summer blooming wildflowers that attract lots of birds and butterflies as well.
Kelly Nature Preserve is 45 acres in size and got started when Virginia Kelly donated about half of the preserve in memory of her husband, Walter Kelly. She wanted a natural area, a preserve on the banks of the Little Miami River, and she had one stipulation that we have to honor is that she wanted no picnicking on that property.
The Park District added to Kelly's donation of 19 acres, purchasing 23 additional acres from Little Miami Incorporated in 1996. The Park Board is proud to promote passive recreation.
We've always had the philosophy that we are going to have a passive recreation kind of facility, and when I go out to visit that kind of facility and see the kids playing on the playground, the people at the picnic groves, having a just absolutely wonderful time and enjoying the outdoors, that's what keeps me coming back.
Some have called the Chilo Lock No. 34 Park one of Clermont's best-kept secrets. This 39-acre park, located off Highway 52 in the village of Chilo, occupies the site of a former Army Corps of Engineer lock and dam on the Ohio River.
Chilo Park has a special spot in my heart. Over the last couple of years, one of my uncles was sick, and a boating enthusiast that also spent a lot of time down in that area at the New Richmond docks, etc., passed away. So we had a small ceremony there for him on the docks and picnic in the shelter center, and then spread his ashes in the river. So that was a very special time.
Built in 1925, the lock and dam was in operation till 1964. The Park District purchased the property in 1985. The focal point is the 3-story brick building on the riverfront that once housed machinery for the lock and dam. Today, that structure is a vibrant visitor center with hands-on activities for young and old alike.
When they see what we have to offer, I think a lot of people, when they hear the term museum, are used to seeing things, behind glass cases and not being allowed to touch things. Well, there's not a whole lot in that museum that we don't allow our visitors to touch. There's some really great hands-on displays. The feature exhibit is a working 1/3 scale model of the Wicket type dam that used to operate when that dam was in operation. We also have a lock model. So kids can actually go through step by step the process of locking a boat through a lock chamber that the boats traveling up and down the river need to go through. We also have a nice wildlife display up on the upper floor of the visitor center, where we've got some really nice taxidermy mounts, so visitors can see that there's a lot of cultural history there, but also a lot of natural history. Lots of wildlife down in that part of the county as well.
Outside the museum, the river views from this location are quite simply spectacular. Nearby, a newly renovated boat ramp beckons, and there are yurts to spend the night.
Yurts are a circular tent structure that have become popular throughout the country for inexpensive camping or cabin experiences in different parks and things. And we have set up 2 yurts there at Chilo for youth groups to use. Scouts, American Heritage Girls, church groups and things can come and rent the yurts for an overnight stay, enjoy the park, and enjoy Crooked Run Nature Preserve and some of the other area facilities that are just down the road from us.
The Chilo Park also offers a playground and picnic area.
One of the focal points of the park is the replica paddle wheel steamboat, the Jenny Wade, which was brought to us in 2005, right before the grand opening of the Visitor Center Museum. It's a replica of the type of boats that would have operated on the river in about 1800s, when the steamboat era was really in its heyday.
Adjacent to the park is the 77-acre Crooked Run Nature Preserve.
Mimi Paul, who used to be the editor of the Bethel Journal, sold the property to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Natural Areas and Preserves to be a bird sanctuary along the Ohio River. And she did that through a bargain sale and retained a life estate on the house that was there, and she lived there on the property then until the early 1990s when she passed away. At that point, the property came into complete ownership to the Division of Natural Areas and Preserves, and then they entered into a lease management agreement with the Park District for the Park District to care for the property and manage the property for the Division of Natural Areas and Preserves.
Crooked Run is one of the most popular spots in the area when it comes to bird watching.
Good destination 12 months out of the year. You never know what kind of birds you see down there. In the wintertime, you can see bald eagles flying around, various ducks along the river, and geese. Springtime, we get loons that actually stop by along the river to migrate, some of the smaller warblers and things.
Over 180 species of birds have been observed in this preserve. If you're lucky enough, you might even spot an eagle soaring through the sky. Another great place to enjoy nature while getting a little exercise, hiking or biking, is the park's Williamsburg to Batavia Hike-Bike Trail.
The Williamsburg to Batavia Hike-Bike Trail is planned to run from the village of Williamsburg to East Fork State Park Campground, then over to the Harsha Lake Dam, and then into the village of Batavia. Currently, the first leg of the trail is complete from Williamsburg to the Harsha Lake overlook just below the campground.
Phase 1 of the Hike-Bike Trail runs 2.5 miles from Broadway Road in Williamsburg to an overlook area near Harsha Lake. When completed, this project will link Williamsburg and Batavia and is supported by government, community, and business. It will ultimately stretch 13 miles, utilizing old roads that were abandoned during the construction of William Harsha Lake. Under construction is a 53-acre park on Tealtown Road in Union Township.
I'd like to see the development of the Tealtown Park over on Tealtown Road. It's adjacent to the Cincinnati Nature Center. I'd like to see us have a levy so that we can acquire more and more land and land bank it for future. The land is being eaten up, and once it goes, it goes. We've been very lucky to get some grants to preserve some of the lands along the Little Miami and its estuaries. We're actively pursuing those. I'd like to continue to do that kind of thing to maintain the open space for the county.
In 2003, the Park District received a donation of 56 acres of land on Tealtown Road from Sylvia Shore. She had owned the property for a number of years, but there was a life estate on the property with the Baker family. And when the last of the Baker family passed away, Sylvia came in complete ownership of the property again, and she was looking for a way to preserve it. She did not want it to be developed. She'd like to see it to be, she wanted to be a park or a natural area. And so she donated to the land of the Park District in 2003, and the Park District then entered into an agreement with Union Township to start work on developing the park.
The site owner has stipulated that only the 6 acres in the corner of the property near Schoolhouse Road can be developed. The rest of the property will remain in a natural state where you can hike or walk your dog. As for the future of the Park District, perhaps a county park in every township.
The growth in the park has been fantastic over 40 years. We started with just one small 20-acre park, and now we're up to in the neighborhood of 500 acres or so with some of the things that are coming online in the near future. We're looking at several projects, some of which are a couple hundred acres. So we look to grow. We look to have what would be fantastic in Clermont County would have a park at the same caliber as what we have at the Voice of America, where we have lake and the boating and fishing and just all the amenities of a large park here in what I consider still a little bit of a rural area.
I've been there on the park board for almost all of those 40 years, and it seems like just yesterday we were developing Sycamore Park. I think that when people look at where we started with virtually nothing, 23 acres of undeveloped land, and now we're up, I believe, over 525 acres, that's a good example of what we were able to do on a relatively small budget.
Next time you visit a county park, someone might be listening to your comments about what you have experienced.
It's clean, it's neat, we had fun, we were there all day, we picnicked. There's so many things to do in the parks. I can't wait to come back maybe next weekend. Mom and Dad, can we come back next weekend and do the same thing and so forth. That's the impression we would like people to leave with, that they enjoyed every minute they were there.
When you visited a park here in Clermont County, we hope that you come away with a positive experience, that you come away feeling happy, feeling like your day is a little bit better than when you first arrived. We're hoping all your experiences are positive ones and that they're new ones as well.
Visit a Clermont County park and make memories that will last a lifetime.